Hey everybody, it's Nigel again. I wanted to do something a little different today and talk about someone that influenced me tremendously in my life as far as my performance level and my confidence level when I was a teenager. And that man's name was Jolson. Kind of a controversial figure today and has been for quite some time. But if you really dig into his history and understand the era that he was born and bred in, you'll find it a very interesting backstory. And what interested me about him as a kid was that everybody talked about Elvis, everybody talked about Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin and Bing Crosby. But I found this guy, Jolson, who was in the first talking movie. He was so popular, they chose him to be in the first movie with sound to sing in. And I remember thinking, well, that's kind of a big deal. How come we never hear about him? So I did a little research as a kid, and I got a couple of CDs of 1920s music. And there were two Jolson songs on that CD. It was April Showers and it was Sunny Boy. And reading the liner notes, I think I was in middle school at the time, I remember reading about this guy and just being very interested because he sounded like Elvis in the 1920s, but I'd never heard anybody talking about him. So I started doing more research on him, and this was pre-YouTube, so Jolson stuff wasn't necessarily easy to find. I saw a couple clips here or there, but that was about it, and I heard a couple of the songs. One day I was at the flea market, and I came across The Jazz Singer on VHS. So I said, well, I gotta see this movie. I gotta see what the big deal about this guy is. So I got the tape and I brought it home and I put it on. And I was surprised to find that The Jazz Singer, which is the first talkie, is basically a silent film with just certain segments with dialogue and talking. And that's because the sound process, which was Vitaphone, was so expensive at that time and still in the early processes of being developed, that there was no way they could afford to do the entire film with sound. So basically it's a silent film with singing segments, which I was really confused by, but I thought it was really cool at the same time. It was like a really weird hybrid kind of idea. So I put the film on, and first 15-20 minutes or so are the backstory of the film. And then there's this scene where Jolson gets up and sings in a nightclub. And I had never seen anything so encouraging before in my life. This guy gets up there, he's like a middle-aged looking dude, especially to a middle schooler. Old-timey guy gets up there and he's singing these schmaltzy, old-time, old-fashioned songs. But he is so confident and so with so much vibrato and so much bolstering confidence that it just blew me away. And he gets up there and he sings a song called Dirty Hands, Dirty Face, and then it goes right into Toot Toot Tootsie, Goodbye.
Wait a minute, you ain't heard nothing yet. Toot Toot Tootsie, goodbye. Toot Toot Tootsie, don't cry.
And from then on out, I was like, I'm this guy's biggest fan. I want to sing these songs. I want to have that confidence in my life. I want to be like Jolson. So from then on out, I just started learning more and more about this guy and learning more and more of his songs and wanting to share that kind of music with people. So I joined the International Jolson Society, and I went to one of their events, and this guy by the name of Richard Halpern was performing at the time. And he brought me up on stage to sing a couple songs. And from then on out, it was just like serendipitous.
Nigel Dreiner, Henry Hudson found the river.
It was such a cool thing, and I really enjoyed performing those songs. And Jolson's confidence mirrored in me when I was singing those songs. And it just made me so much more confident in myself and proud of the little weird things that I think are cool in life that at the time I didn't think anybody else would think were interesting. It doesn't matter If anybody else thinks you're weird or your interests are odd, there are other people out there who will appreciate it. Especially with the internet. You'll find fan groups and fan pages for almost anything in the world. Anything you think is a little niche thing, or is it niche? I've heard it both ways. There's fans of it. So you be you, and you put your passion into the things that you find interesting, even if you don't think anybody else is into it. Because I guarantee you, if you put your joy, happiness, and energy into things that you're passionate about, you are going to find an audience for those things. So I'm going to conclude this with a Jolson song, one of the first Jolson songs I ever heard, called April Showers. Now, this is not the 1922 original version, but a 1940s re-recorded version, and it's actually an outtake that never made it into the Jolson story. So I love the orchestration of this version, and it's a thrill for me to be able to perform this version for you today. So I hope you enjoy. Thank you for watching again. Appreciate it. Have a great week. Though April showers may come your way, they bring the flowers that bloom in May. So if it's raining, have no regrets, because it isn't raining rain, you know. It's raining violets, and where you see crowds upon the hills, you soon will see crowds of daffodils. So keep on looking for a bluebird and listening for its song whenever April showers come along. Life is not a highway strewn with flowers, still it holds a goodly share of bliss. When the sun gives way to April showers, here's the point you should never miss. Though April showers may come your way, they bring the flowers that bloom in May. And if it's raining, have no regrets, because it isn't raining rain, you know. It's raining violets. And when you see clouds on the hills, look, they're not clouds, no, they're crowds of daffodils. So keep on looking for a bluebird and listening for its song whenever April showers come along. Have a good week, folks.